So if trading is about making money, it thereby means whatever makes you to lose money defeat the goal of you trading. So if that is the case, you will be doing everything possible in order to avoid losing money. The question now is, what can I do? What are those measures that can be put in place in order for you to avoid losing your trading capital? One of the ways to get into a high probability trade is for us to have an entry with a double confirmation, which is what we call confluence. Confluence means making a trade based on multiple confirmation strategy. My name is Soji and welcome to Soji Forex. Thank you to all our new subscribers. If you are coming across our video for the first time, please do not forget to go to our previous video, begin our analysis from a H4 time frame. And on a H4 time frame, what we do is for us to identify the structure of the market. So looking at this particular scenario, this price is a bullish trend. The question is, how do I know that this is a bullish market? I know because price is making a series of a higher low. This is a higher high. This is a higher low. And here we are having a new higher high. So this is one of the ways I get to identify the trend of my market. Another way to do this, if you put your trend line, obviously you can see that this price is in an uptrend. And another way to do this is by using our middle Bollinger Band. When price is above the middle Bollinger Band, we establish that we are in an uptrend. And when price is below this middle Bollinger Band, we are in a downtrend. Now the goal of all of this method of analysis for you to follow, which is simple for you to understand. So having established that, we'll be looking for confluence for us to make an entry. One of those confluence is, once you have identified a trade like this, the next thing you need to do is for you to identify your point of interest. After identifying your trend, you mark out your point of interest. And what are our point of interest? Point of interest can be an order block. Point of interest can be a support and resistance. Point of interest can be your supply and demand zone. Your point of interest can be a smart money cube. It can be an imbalance. For instance, here we've marked this support, which is our demand zone, and then price take off from here to the upside. So when price get to this level here, immediately price begin to reverse. If we are going to look for a buying opportunity, we begin to look at our left hand side. On this left hand side, what can we identify? Is it another block? Is it a smart money cube? So looking at this first movement of price to the upside, we'll find our point of interest. We've already marked where price take off from. Another point of interest from this movement here is our fair value gap. Now if you are hearing this word fair value gap for the first time, which is imbalance, please go to our previous video. There is a video on this channel where we have discussed about fair value gap. And here, as you can see, there is this fair value gap. So when price begin to pull down and it come into this point of interest that we have marked, we begin to think of making an entry. So price return, feel this imbalance, and then continue to the upside. So when price come into this zone of imbalance, what do? Let's look at our H1 time frame. we begin to look for double confirmation. Even on H4, look at when price come into this imbalance, our commodity channel index is at the level of 10 and 20. On H4, which shows that it's a reasonable pullback, a retracement. If it is a high trade formation, one, it is in a zone of imbalance, then our commodity channel index is at the level of 10 or 20. That is a confirmation. So let's move to our H1 time frame. Now this is our H1 time frame. This is great. So you can see now that on H1 time frame, price pulled back into this zone. And look at our commodity channel index is at the level of 20 and 10. And afterward, what do we see? We have a beautiful candlestick formation. And you can see this double rejection that we are seeing here of this twin candle, double rejection, and this closes even above the body of this engulfed the previous candle. So now we are having confluences that validate this trade entry, and our commodity channel index is at this zone, while candlestick confirmation and prices as well inside our zone, which is the fair value gap from H4 time frame. Another confirmation is that price is retesting, price is above the middle Bollinger Band on H1 time frame. So these are confluence. This determines the probability, how profitable this trade is. And then with all of this rejection. So now let's move to our 15-minute time frame so we can find this zone. And here we have it. And so finally on our 15-minute time frame, look at what happened. Where we are to make our entry, this price gave us a divergence. This is a divergence. So now this is a divergence, and then price as well is piercing the lower Bollinger Band, which signifies an exhaustion of this particular trade and the tendency of a pulling back to the upside. And spotting this divergence in this zone, all of this confirmation validate this entry. So you can see now how we can identify a high probability trade. On each of this time frame, we have different reason to validate this entry. We have more than one reason for us to make our entry. We have divergence, which is one reason. Price at our 10 and 20 of the commodity channel index, price at the lower Bollinger Band on 15 minutes, and price is at our zone, the point of interest, which is the fair value gap. So this advantage is what we use to validate our trend entry, and as such this trade is a high probability trade. So now that we have marked this zone, just as you have seen, price have left this zone, and that is how this price played out and it went to the upside. So here now become our fresh zone. We now have our order block. So we want to see price in the future now come back again into this zone, and then we have this push to the upside. I believe you have learned something new. Do not forget to give this video a like. Please share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss our next video.